he was
I know your world, you want to put AJ in there, but why in God's green earth?
No, if I don't have to, I want it.
No, but why would Cleveland want a $32 million 28-year-old receiver when they're in hell?
Because next year when I get my first round quarterback that I'm going to put in there,
that's fair.
I've got a superstar wide receiver. Remember, you're not going to rebuild this Cleveland team in 1 year.
No, it's going to take a while. And AJ's going to be out of his prime by the time they're ready.
Without further ado. And thank you, Ish. Our man from Birds 365, Big Z, Zander Krause, joins us now.
What up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
How am I doing? I'm doing fabulous.
I know you are. I know you are.
So what have we started here?
I don't know what we started. I mean, I saw this thing floating on Cleveland earlier, and I didn't know if there was any truth to it. At first, I saw it. I'm like, it's a bunch of bullshit. But I don't know. I did text some people, and it's a very similar situation to A.J. Brown, where the Browns are saying they do not want to trade Myles Garrett, and the Eagles are saying they do not want to trade A.J. Brown. But both teams they haven't convinced the rest of the league that they're actually not taking calls or they're actually uninterested in moving them. It's the same thing with the Eagles and AJ. Eagles say we're not moving AJ, but the Patriots think, if we pry him enough, they might move him. Same thing with Myles Garrett. And then apparently the Eagles they really want Myles. Now, I don't know if they've given him 3-1s or offered 3-1s. To be blunt with you, Sills, I wouldn't even hesitate. I wouldn't hesitate to get Myles Garrett. I mean, you have a Super Bowl window. I mean, we're going into Super Bowl 60 this year. That's the Super Bowl. So it's been 59 damn seasons since the Super Bowl era started. And how many moments in Philadelphia Eagles history have we had where you have an opportunity like this, where you're coming off a Super Bowl? You have a roster that's pretty young, healthy, and talented, and everything is out in front of you. I mean, that's pretty rare. Last time we won the Super Bowl in 2018, it almost felt like the end. Remember, we ran it back. We had the oldest team in the league, all these different things. I mean, we're in a rare moment here, and if Myles Garrett is at all available, I will make it happen. But it does feel a little bit like it's not going to happen.
You win the next 3 Super Bowls.
I think we would. I'm. And by the way, you're not rescinding your bet. If the Eagles have a parade in February, you're going to be bald. You can't rescind the bet.
Well, wait. Wait a minute. If Garrett part of it, man, that changes.
That makes you a phony. If you don't do it, that makes you a phony.
Oh, okay, Philly 500. Stop fucking.
No, I'm just saying you can't proclaim it on the show. Have me post it up on our socials, and then say, "Well, Howie was still the GM when you made that." I mean, come on.
Okay. Let me make this make sense to you then. Okay? Let me make this make sense to you. So, do you believe, if you're Cleveland, you're Andrew Berry, and you're Jimmy Haslam, I think Jimmy Haslam is the one that's stopping this, the owner.
Yeah, I don't really know why they want to keep Myles, to be honest with you.
Right, okay. Do you think in the next 4 years they're a Super Bowl contender? That's his contract.
They're not even close.
Okay, do they have a quarterback?
They don't even have they don't have a quarterback.
Okay. You're telling me you'll get 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years?
Do they already have 2? Do they already have 2 next year?
Yeah, because of Jacksonville.
Oh, right. Is that who they traded up with? Jacksonville traded up with the Browns?
Forget Travis Hunter.
That's right.
They would have 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years.
Now you can build your lines. You can do what you need to do. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense, honestly, from their perspective.
And you get that money off your books.
But is it just bad business to get rid of a player that good?
Okay, for what though? What's the end game?
I'm just saying, if they got rid of them, the stands are going to be empty. The jersey sales are like they're not going to have any enthusiasm.
It's Cleveland, bro. It's like Philly. It's not going empty. Dude. You're telling me if the Philadelphia Eagle fans, they're going to show up like they did to the 700 level. They're going to show up whether you win 10 games or 5 games. They're going to that damn stadium.
I don't know. People say it's Madden trade. I thought it was kind of a Madden trade until I texted.
I asked.
People are doing anything, and the Eagles are not the only team to pry Myles Garrett away from Cleveland.
Patriots
and when you get into a situation where you have a player this good and a team who's unwilling to move them, teams will start to go to lengths to get them out of there. You know, that's the one reason that a team could overpay for A.J. Brown right now, you know, because Howie's like, no. But if someone says, hey, here's our first and a third, Howie's going to be like, maybe I'll do that, you know? So I don't know. I'll tell you what, Myles Garrett's been my favorite player in the league for a long time. I think he's.
ESP has just approved Big Sills' trade. Okay. So
ESP?
A guy over there that is the mouthpiece for the Eagles.
Elliot?
Yeah.
Right.
How about this one here? What do you make of this? 2 1s, AJ and Judy for Garrett.
I'd rather give up 3 1s than give up 2 1s with AJ. Because then you just now I understand your point about the business.
Because then you get Judy to go on the other. He played with Hurts. He played with Devontae. Again, I'm not in any way saying that Judy is in the room with AJ, but I am saying that guess what? You get another quality receiver on the other side. And remember something. If you think the run game's back and you're going to run the football, well, shit, Zander. Myles Garrett makes you do this. Look, here's what you're doing right now. You're looking at the competition. Rams. You're looking at Detroit, Green Bay, right? Here's what those teams are doing if you get Garrett. Watch. They're looking up at you. This is a game-changing place right here. I love the fact he's in the conversation. Remember something. What else did?
Yeah, but here's the other thing.
Do you think he was?
I know your world. You want to put AJ in there, but why in God's green earth?
No, if I don't have to, I wouldn't.
No, but why would Cleveland want a $32 million 28-year-old receiver when they're in hell?
Because next year when I get my first round quarterback that I'm going to put in there,
that's fair.
I've got a superstar wide receiver. Remember, you're not going to rebuild this Cleveland team in 1 year. No,
it's going to take a while. And AJ's going to be out of his prime by the time they're ready.
Right, but he can help the kid go along and move him along here.
Yeah, he can help. He could definitely help a young quarterback develop. I mean, look what he did for Jalen Hurts. He came here for Jalen Hurts.
He'd get all his targets.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, boy, I tell you what, I almost don't even want to go down this road because, like, I don't want to start oohing and ahhing here. I mean, if you got Myles Garrett in Philly, dude, this team would. Can you imagine Myles Garrett and Jalen Carter on the same D line?
No, wait, watch. Garrett, Carter, Davis, Hunt, Nolan Smith, Vaughn, Dean, Campbell. That's your front seven. I think you're better than Denver.
Yeah, it would be. Definitely.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then, so that we can put this in context here. Do you believe that Howie Roseman earlier this year was in the Michael Parsons sweepstakes?
He was in the Michael Parsons sweepstakes.
Well, then why wouldn't he be in this?
Well, he is in this, but there's also a thought around the league that Barry's not going to move Myles. So some of it is it's that's why I use the AJ comp. It's the same type of deal. The Eagles insist they're not trading AJ Brown. I'm not of the belief they're trading AJ Brown in the middle of the season. That's what bad teams do. You don't trade great players in the middle.
Unless there's a Garrett involved.
Well, yeah, that's a little bit of a different scenario. But I'm just talking about this is how it's viewed around the league right now. The Barry is insisting they're not trading Myles Garrett. Other teams are calling his bluff and are saying what you're saying. You're in nowhere close to competing. This guy's 29 years old and making $40+ million. You don't need this player. If we give you 2 or 3 1s, you're going to cough him up. I don't know if they will or not, but boy, man, he would be amazing to have on this team. He would be incredible to have on this team. No whole defense, baby, would be back.
Man, I'll tell you what. He'd be the best football player defensively we've had since Reggie White. And that includes Brian Dawkins.
Why did you call me the biggest A.J. Brown fan on the planet? That was a weird comment.
You are. You like him. You want him on the team. I don't give a shit if he's on or not.
He's the best receiver of the
I
Philadelphia.
care what makes your team better right now.
I do
That
too.
deal makes you better.
So wait, liking the greatest receiver we've ever had in the history of Philadelphia makes me the biggest AJ Brown fan in the world. All right, whatever.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't fall in love with players. I don't give a shit about it. I care what makes your team better, and that's what
Right now, AJ Brown makes your team better.
Yeah, but we're not talking about any other player. But
if you're talking about you have to get rid of him for Myles Garrett, then yeah, I would do it. But I don't think that's what the deal would be.
I got something else for you too. If you're other teams looking around right now, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you're the Las Vegas Raiders, don't you do this? Jesus, what would they offer for my guy?
Yeah, but Max Crosby is a great football
I'm not
player.
giving the same package though, dude.
Yeah, he's not even close.
AJ's not in the room with that conversation, and nor are 3-1s.
If you put Myles Garrett on our D line, though, you're like that's the best D line in football. If you put Max Crosby, you're like
on your D line.
If you put Max Crosby, I think you're like, okay, edge is not a weakness anymore.
No,
I don't think he's a game changer like Myles is.
No, I think he's probably third in the league.
Yeah, but the drop from 1 to 2 in my eyes is pretty big.
And from probably 2 to 3 is bigger. Think about it.
Parsons Who do you have two?
Parsons on that Green Bay team looks really different.
Parsons is a beast. You know who else is a beast? The dude who got paid yesterday, Hutchinson. That dude terrorized. He's been terrorizing teams all year. I mean, he's a problem in the backfield. He destroys tackles. I like him.
I could not believe that he beat the fucking shit out of Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, he did.
The way he did. I mean, Tristan's like tremendous. He tortured him. I mean,
he's one of the best tackles in football. It's probably him and Penei Sewell and Lane Johnson are probably
those three guys. Yeah. I mean, right. The guy in Los Angeles, when he's healthy, the guy who missed the season is not too bad. And Trent's
just hit me back, so he's good for 515.
Great. I wonder what he's going to think about this. So, Zander, I mean, what do you make of your general manager being involved in a conversation like this?
Good, man. That's what you want. You want a GM who's involved in the convo. I think part of it is there's like two ways to look at it, in my opinion, at least right now. Well, there's multiple, but there's two ways that I'm looking at it. Roll Philly was in the chat earlier, and he said something interesting. He's like, this feels like a nothing burger, and how he's going to end up doing nothing, because sometimes they put out these big name rumors, and fans love it, and then when they don't make a move, they're like, oh, well, at least we tried. And that actually makes sense to me, because this move does feel a little bit right now like it's not entirely reasonable. I mean, that would be a blockbuster of all blockbusters in the middle of the year here. So
I don't think it's Philly not wanting to. I think it's Cleveland.
But the other way to look at it is this the reason that they went Temu all offseason? Because they've been waiting to make a move like this? I mean, if you think about it, they went cheap everywhere, and they were in on Micah Parsons, and now they're in on Myles Garrett. So it's like it would quantify or make more sense for why Howie handled the offseason the way he did if he ended up acquiring a player of this caliber. They tried to do it with Micah. That's confirmed. Dallas just didn't want to send him in division, which makes sense.
That's right, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. But the Eagles were ready to match the offer or more and pay Micah Parsons to 47. So that tells you where the Eagles were on that deal. So, they're either going to do nothing and the Temu season will continue, or they're going to write it all and they're going to make it make more sense with an acquisition like this. It'd be pretty crazy. It still feels a little bit out of the realm of possibility for me, trading for Myles Garrett. But, boy, if it happens, holy shit. Look out. The Eagles will be a good football team.
Mary Jo Cabot says that there have been conversations between the two teams.
Yeah, and anytime you hear a conversation, you can just assume everybody Howie's called. Howie gets in every conversation. He said that publicly on a podcast. It's my job to be in every conversation, so at the very least, I know what the market rate is for players around the league. So Howie's calling. I mean, Howie's definitely calling.
It just makes sense.
I texted John about it, and John said it's not as bullshit as you think. Teams think Jaden, it's the same thing with AJ. Philly says they're not trading AJ. Other teams think they will. So they're willing to call the Eagles about AJ. Same thing with Myles. Cleveland is saying we're not trading him. Other teams like the Eagles are like, bullshit, you guys aren't ready to win. You'll trade him if we give you good enough enough compensation for it. Same situation here.
Let me tell you a story, Zander. John Lynch, the current general manager of the San Francisco 49ers, is a friend of mine. And do you know what he told me on the air? You know when they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo? Remember when they traded for Garoppolo?
Yep.
Do you know who he initially asked for?
Who?
Tom Brady. He goes, well, the conversation, remember there was a rumor that there was going to be a handoff, and Belichick wanted Garoppolo to take the baton and go forward and be the heir apparent to Brady. And then Bob Kraft parachuted in and said, wait a minute, we're not trading Brady. Belichick was wanting, one of the reasons he left New England was over that Jimmy Garoppolo. By the way, do you know who the same agents they are? Don Yee. I asked Don Yee this.
That's right. That's right. You're buddies with Don Yee, aren't you?
We have had Don Yee on. So here, listen. He initially called for Brady. He goes, we're not trading Brady. He goes, well, how about Garoppolo? That's how they got Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
So what would make you think, Zander, that Howie's not calling going, hey, you get, by the way, if you're Cleveland, also you get him out of the AFC. You don't want him going to
there's no, like Cleveland would rather send him to Philly than, I don't know, another
right,
team.
I'm not going to play
like the Patriots who need an edge. They're not going to send him to that's invasion. They're not going to send him to somewhere like that.
Why would I send him to a place that has the most cap room and an ascending team in the AFC? Why would I do that?
No, Browns aren't in division. Who Patriots are what? AFC East?
AFC East. They got the Dolphins, they got the Bills, and they got the Jets.
Yeah. And then the North is the Browns, Steelers, Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah, that North is good. AFC North is good. Last year they were. Huh?
It's gotten a lot better, and the East is getting better. One team is getting
the North
better.
is having a bad year, but they got good quarterbacks and shit there. The Browns just feel like even the Ravens at 2-5 and the Bengals at 3-5, the Browns are nowhere in their league.
Nowhere.
Even with their shitty records.
Nowhere. Okay? Nowhere.
If they get rid of Myles
everything makes sense. Listen to it. Listen to it again. See, I just happen to think though that the 3-1s is a little Howie rich.
That's rich for that ain't Howie rich, bro. That is rich. That's rich for anybody. That's rich for Les Snead.
But would you get But would you give 3s for a Super Bowl?
I'd give up the 1s. I would. Because I think you're in a rare moment in this organization. And I don't want people to lose sight of that. You don't just right now, it's easy to be a prisoner of the moment. Right now,
havoc.
Right now, we're in a moment, though, where the Eagles are Super Bowl contender year in and year out. It's not like that every year. It's not going to be like if you think for the next decade or 2 decades, every single year we're going to be in this conversation, you're wrong. We've had 60 years of Super Bowl era football.
You're in a moment in time.
Yeah, you're in a rare moment. So, like, if you can maximize where you are, I'm not worried about picks who might pan out in 3, 4, 5 years. I don't give a shit about picks. Give me the player who's going to be dominant for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Now, the question would also come into this because it's such a rich asking price. How long do you think Myles will be this good? I know he looks like he's not slowing down, but he is 29. Father Time waits for nobody and absolutely, spares nobody. How much longer do you think Myles? I think he could play amazing for 5 more years. Literally, he's that beastly. But it's fair to wonder that, I think, at this point. He's 9?
Yeah. He'll be 30. He'll be 30 later in the year.
He'll be 30 at the end of December. So, like, how much longer does he have? TJ Watt's 31. He looks like he dropped off a little bit after that deal.
How many years did he sign that new contract extension for?
Myles?
How many? Yeah, how many years?
Years, $80 million, wasn't it?
4 years. I think he would be.
No, but I thought they tacked on 2, right? Or no?
Are they 2 void years?
Oh no, 4-year, 160. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, 4 years. I think he'd.
Yeah, so he's under contract technically through 2030.
Okay, I think he'd be dominant for 4 years. Dominant. 4 years. The length of that contract Bro, he's got 10 sacks now.
See, this is what I don't get here because the dead cap hit, if they trade him right now, post June 1st, is $40 million dead cap.
Okay. And his salary's 40. You restructure. What'd your boy do when he came?
Yeah, but is there a way to structure it so the Browns don't have to take that much dead cap?
Yeah. Well, wait. Didn't your guy this Michael Carter guy, didn't he void out?
He voided out 5 years, but I don't think you can do anything with dead cap. That's money already spent.
Okay. From what I understand, you can restructure and then you can defer.
Well, that you could definitely do. But will the Browns be willing to do that?
Well, you're getting 40 off the books annually.
Yeah, you're picking up a boatload in dead cap, though.
Yeah, the remainder of this year and carry over
25, you're picking up $20 million in dead cap, and then next year you're getting $41 million in dead cap. That's a lot.
Yeah, but you're going to be younger and you're going to be cheaper.
Versus if they traded him post June 1 next summer, so after next June, the dead cap would be 15 and then 25.
Okay. They want those draft picks.
Yeah, I guess if they had Myles Garrett off the books, then it's
right, because then you're on rookie deals.
They don't have any big contracts over there.
Then you're on rookie deals. Now the question, let me ask you this: would Howie pay that $40 million?
Yeah, fucking kidding me? He was ready to pay 47 for Micah. Myles Garrett is better than Micah Parsons.
So 40, 35.
You know, Myles Garrett is graded as one of the best edges against the run in the NFL.
Yeah, I do know that.
As good as he is in the pass rush and dominating, he's that good against the run too. You
hear how Lane talks about him every time he scrimmages him?
He's insane. This dude, Myles Garrett, is insane. I would not keep 3 1s if you could get Myles Garrett. I want to make that clear. Just being honest, it just feels like it's not.
Yeah, but okay, this is why Cleveland blows then. Because, okay, you have no quarterback. You have no fucking future. You can have 7 first rounds in the next 3 years. You get that salary off your books, and you get younger players and lower your salary cap like the Eagles have defensively, having rookie deals. How's that? I mean, and you get the KI out of the division. How the fuck is that? No, I
hear what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying doesn't make sense, but I mean, not every, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's not how it all works. I mean, it feels like, believe me, I for my business, for the team, for everything, I would love for the Eagles to trade for Myles Garrett. It just doesn't feel realistic right now. Does it feel realistic to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes
fuck yeah.
It does. Here, listen. I mean,
I don't think
AJ in the deal makes sense.
I don't know how the Browns could pass up 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years.
That's what dude.
I mean, if people are really offering that, which I don't know if they're doing, I don't know.
How do you not?
Show is bringing logic, but here's the problem with this. He says give up 3 first-round players who will all be under 24 for a 29-year-old. This is the problem. You're assuming that when those players who we draft reach their prime, we're still going to have our Super Bowl window open. Super Bowl windows don't stay open that long. They don't stay open that long.
How about this? As great as Jahad Campbell and as great as you might think Makuba are going to be, and as great as you even think Cooper DeJean is, they're not in that guy's league.
Dude, that's a good way to do it. Like, just take our last 3 first overall picks. Jahad Campbell, Quinyon Mitchell, and who was before that? Jalen Carter?
Yeah. Ugh. Now, one of those guys will ever be in his room.
I know, but would you give up Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, and Jahad Campbell for Myles Garrett? That's a big haul. Football is a team game, man. There's not one man on the field.
You're going to land on that. You're assuming that, again.
Well, based on the track record, they're drafting well right now.
How do you think Nolan is doing?
Nolan is meh. I mean, he's good. He's a good player, but guy can't stay healthy. I mean, he played 9 games last year. He's already on IR this year. I mean, it is what it is. Is that a guy you pay and you build around? How many games has Myles Garrett missed in his career? I feel like that dude's wreaking havoc every week.
How do you think Jordan Davis is doing?
I think Jordan Davis is going to get paid. I think he's having a good year. I like what Jordan Davis has done.
Okay. Once again, Jordan Davis, I mean, as good as that guy's going to be. Okay.
Well, if you take the worst of our picks and you say, would you give up Nolan Smith and Jordan Davis for Myles Garrett? Then hell yeah, I would. So I guess it's fair comp because you don't know.
Jordan Davis, I mean, for Myles Garrett, would you make that dude?
I don't think they're paying Nolan. I don't think they're going to pay Nolan Smith, and I think the Carter contract's down $8 million. What we thought. We thought it was going to be 40. It looks to me like it's going to be 30, 32, maybe 34, 35. So you're getting money back there, and if you're not paying Nolan, it's easy to justify paying Garrett.
Man, dude, it's blowing.
In my opinion, Myles Garrett's the best football player in the NFL and has been for the last 5 years.
He is,
and there's nobody close. That's my personal opinion on the player.
Hey, now, hey, don't blame me here. I don't know. I mean, I got a call from the Cleveland radio station before I went on. And those guys at 102.5, they went like this because the afternoon guy's a friend of mine. He goes, hey, you hearing this shit? Ray Joe Cabot came out and said that the Eagles have contacted Andrew Berry throughout the entire bye week about the potential of trading for Myles Garrett. And I went, get the fuck out of here. So I asked Highsmith. Highsmith goes, oh, yeah. Dan Morgan, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, goes, oh, yeah, they're listening. They're not shopping. They're listening, and people are calling. And I'm like, what are they offering? He goes, some people, a team offered 3 first-rounders for him. And I go, who is that? He goes, well, a team in the NFC East, that's for sure. Now, that could be the Cowboys.
It could be. It could be.
That could be the Cowboys doing that.
It could be.
Because the Cowboys got picks, didn't they, from the Michael Parsons deal? Didn't they get picks from that?
They got 2. So technically what the Cowboys would do if they did that is they would have sent Michael Parsons and a 1 basically to get Myles Garrett, which I would do. I like Michael Parsons. Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett.
Hey, I'm just saying that. The Cowboys could be that.
Remember this. Andrew Berry is a Howie Roseman disciple.
Yes, he is. He worked with him.
So they're buddies. I mean, he more than worked with them. Andrew Berry had a big role here in Philly.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's the role that Joe Douglas is in now.
Yeah. Well, no, it was higher than that. Joe Douglas got
right?
Well, what's Joe Douglas now? Assistant GM?
I think he's the head of pro personnel.
He's a senior personnel director. No, Andrew Berry, I think, was the assistant GM. Andrew Berry, Eagles. Well, he was the VP of football operations.
Wow. Okay, well, he was his right-hand man then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Andrew Berry and Howie were close.
Is that the guy that in Las Vegas? Is that the role that he took for the role?
Yeah, who went there again? That was the contract guy. That was the
okay.
What's that guy's name?
I forget what he was. He was in the organization a long time too, by the way.
Anthony Patch. No, he was the scouting guy, senior director of scouting. So 2 scouting guys went to the Raiders. There was no contract guy. Sorry, I got that wrong. Senior personnel executive. That's what he joined the Raiders as. Okay,
so dude. It's picking steam up and Cleveland is saying right now that
it's gonna have steam. I mean, but
is it a simmer?
I don't know why this feels so crazy to me. I mean, the thought of getting Myles Garrett has always been like my dream trade for the Eagles, and it just doesn't feel like it's gonna happen. But shit, if it does, holy gosh, we will be going nuts here. You will be. I'll be teasing you every day. I'll be coming on the show with clippers that are on. Just buzzing in the microphone.
Eagles are super hot after Myles Garrett.
Yeah, what a weird word to use, by the way. Super hot after Garrett. Who the fuck put that up?
I think that's Mary Jo.
Eagles, Myles Garrett. Let's see what they're saying. Myles Garrett trade rumors. Let's look.
It's all over.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, they weren't on.
Bleeding green. NFL insider Charles Robinson recently had the following to say during an appearance on ESPN's Nashville 102.5.
I text him.
Rumor going around, I have not heard it out of the Eagles, but I've heard from a couple of other super high-ranking people and other teams.
Yep.
That other teams that are clearly on the phones. The Howie Roseman and the Eagles are super high after Myles Garrett. That Howie would give up like 3 first-round picks for him. Which makes sense because of how in they were on Micah. They were in with the 2-1s on Micah.
And that's why I called Alonzo and Dan Morgan. And they confirmed it.
Holy shit, dude. If we got Myles Garrett.
They confirmed it. I believe, bro. How are you not believing that? You were in on Micah.
I'm not saying I don't believe it. I just don't know if it's actually going to happen.
Because you're dealing with a shit organization. I can't wait to talk to Baldy later. And I can't wait to talk to Balzer. He's also plugged in.
Balzer.
Hey, those guys are all like NFL plugged in guys, man. I mean, bro.
It's going to be interesting to see what Balzer says.
I mean, he'll tell you flat out, look, there's no better player at any position. Like the only guy here's the only guys that are better than him in the league. Mahomes. Maybe Allen.
Who's better than him?
Garrett.
I don't think Mahomes is better than him. You think Mahomes is a better quarterback than Myles Garrett is defensive end? Myles Garrett's the number 1 rated pass rusher and the number 1 rated run stopper. Huh?
Jimmy Johnson told me if you put Mahomes on the open market, he get 5 1s.
Well, he's a quarterback. That's a different question. He's obviously more valuable. That goes without saying.
Okay, I'm going to go by that metric, what you just said. No, I don't think that Mahomes is better as a football player than Garrett is as a defensive football player. No, I do not.
I agree. I don't think he is. To me, Myles Garrett's the best player in the NFL.
And he, like you said, and he has been. Like it's
Tab says Mahomes is better than him. I don't know, man. It's close.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Let me get you some Eagle questions here. By the way, we'll do some supers here in a minute. Coming out of the bye, you think there's going to be more of a focus running the ball or throwing the ball?
I think this hybrid approach.
Heading into that Green Bay game.
I think this hybrid approach is going to keep up. I think they're going to try and use this play action more and under center more. And we might have a chance to have a different looking offense than really we've had in the last 4 years. I mean, we've had a lot of good offensive play in the last 4 years, but we have also not seen a play action offense. And by the way, the other thing I'll say about A.J. Brown, I know everybody's all, oh, A.J. this, A.J. that. Nobody will thrive more in our offense than A.J. Brown if they start to do play action. That is his game. You play action pass and you run him on slant routes across the middle or hitches or goes or any of those things, slants, I mean, that he will dominate if they start playing that. So I'm hoping that's what they start to do on offense. Let me text Balzer back. Check spam on your all right. Here. So I think that's going to be the approach. Under center, more balance.
What do you think they want to get more involved coming out of the bye? AJ or Barkley?
Probably both, but probably
Pick
Barkley.
One.
Barkley. I mean, you got to run the football,
Yeah.
And I know it's funny because there was some dude in here yesterday who was like, Sil's moving the goalpost again. He said he wanted the run game to get going, and then they run, and now he moved the goalpost. I'm like, dude, 1 game out of 8 games is not – that's not a trend. That's not a realistic – right now, that's the outlier. Until they prove that a couple more weeks, it's not moving goalposts. So the team still has to get the run game going consistently, and I think that's more important than getting AJ going.
Can I tell you that I think what is the most dangerous thing about these trade rumors is that it's going to alienate a lot of people towards A.J. Brown because people are going to automatically want to put him into a trade to move him. And it's going to create, I think, a little bit of a negativity towards him that he doesn't respond well to. Now, I mean, do you not agree? Everybody's got AJ's name in this thing here. Everybody's throwing it out. First thing is because they want to get rid of the guy. Would you not agree? Do you think half your fan base wants him gone and the other doesn't want him gone?
No.
Or do you think that's a lower number?
I think that's a way lower number. I do
20%?
not think half the Eagles fan base wants AJ Brown gone.
20%?
And if they did, it would show you the collective IQ of our fan base as being fucking dumbasses. We've been waiting 20 plus years to get a fucking wide receiver in the building. Now we got two of them that are so damn good. And you're telling me fans don't want AJ Brown gone. Come on, man. These fans know. These fans know. No way. There's no way I'm buying that.
Okay. What percentage do you believe wants him gone?
5 to 10, maybe, if that. I'll say this. I think 50% is fair if you're saying they want him to shut up or stop on social media. That to me is fair. 50% of the Eagles fans want him to quit with the social media bullshit and just play team ball. That would be fair. Wanting him gone is a big reach.
It is. It's a different conversation.
Yeah, it's a different combo.
It is. I agree. What do you make of Green Bay, man?
In what regard?
Like as a contender? Made it vague. What do you make of them as a unit that you're going to play coming out of the bye here? I mean,
I think they're a really good team.
That's a pretty good test, and it's on the road at Lambeau.
Well, this is what I think is a little bit more significant about the game as compared to some of the games we've played this year. I know we've had a tough schedule, and we've had some really good teams on the schedule, but you had the Chiefs for week 2, you had the Rams week 3, and you had the Bucs week 4. So I know you won those games, but we all talk about the first 4 weeks as being like the new preseason.
Yeah.
But once you get wins in those games, you can't just look back and say, okay, that we're better than those teams. We were better on that day in September. This is now week 10. Both teams are somewhat established in what they think they're going to be this year or what their aspirations are for the team, what their offensive plans are, what their defensive plans are, things like that. So I think it's two more established heavyweights going at it as compared to when you play the Rams in week 3. Yeah, it's good, but that's so early in the year. Matthew Stafford didn't play all summer. I mean, Jalen didn't play all summer. AJ didn't play all summer. You're still kind of finding your feet, I think, in week 3. So I think from that perspective, the game is bigger than any of the games we had in the beginning of the year. But I'm going to kind of throw water on it a little bit, which I know you probably don't want me to do, but I'm going to. You can't get too high or too low on this game. It's still a regular season game. I understand it's NFC. This team doesn't beat the Packers on Monday night and say, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl. And they don't lose to the Packers and say, okay, we're not going to the Super Bowl. Now we're going to judge it. We're going to analyze it. We're going to break it down how they play. We're going to look at it as a matchup of what team is better. Absolutely. But it's a regular season game. They got to go into Lambeau. They got to handle business. They got to play their game. They got to throw Jordan Love off his spot. They got to be efficient on offense, run the football well. And I think they're going to walk out of there with a win.
Okay. I am looking at it a little bit more like you, whereas I'm not looking at the 4 quarters. I'm looking at the next 8 quarters of football with Detroit and with Green Bay. Inside those next 8 quarters, for both teams, for all 3 teams, okay? Injuries, war of attrition, how you're playing, seeding in playoffs, all of that are going to come out of these next 8 quarters.
Yeah, 100%.
Not everybody's going to be healthy coming out of these games. Okay? You're not.
When's the Lions bye week?
I think it's in
week
2 weeks.
8. So their bye week was last week.
Last week.
And they're playing the Vikings this week.
Which will be tough. Okay? That's a divisional game. That'll be tough.
Rushy, don't make me drool up here. Myles Garrett and Kelly Green, you got to be kidding me, man. Are you kidding me? I will give away so many fucking Myles Garrett jerseys on this channel. You guys won't even know what to do with yourself. I'll be giving away Myles Garrett jersey to Dusty Grays. That's how many Myles Garrett jerseys I'll give away if we get him.
Bro, I think you're in the conversation. You know what? Somebody just like texted me and they go, how real do you think it is? I told them, I said, I think it's 75% real. I go, I think there's a 75%. I go, and the only reason it's not 100% for me is because it's the Browns. If you were dealing with a competent organization, I would think, how we sent it to you. Let me double check. We sent it to you. We sent it, Howard. We sent it. Okay.
I just texted him. He's good.
Okay.
When did he text you that? Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he texted me earlier. Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
So I mean, I think it's 75% real, and I think
it's definitely real. It's 100% real. What's also real is that Barry is giving the impression to GMs that he's not trading them. So you're having a moment here where teams are kind of trying to lure him off the perch a little bit. Come on, Andrew, if I give you 3 1s, you know what I mean? It's kind of that type of thing, I think.
See, what I don't think that the Browns want to do is I don't think they want to send him to a shitty team. But they want to return.
They want to send him to the NFC. You can't send him to the AFC.
I think if it's an NFC team, an AFC team, I think it's a really shitty AFC team. But if it's an NFC team, I think that's where you want to, like you said, you want to trade there. Hey, I wouldn't count out the Cowboys and the 49ers not being involved in this.
49ers aren't going to do it. They're already paying Nick Bosa. Huh?
I mean,
I just think they're already paying Bosa. So, and because he's out this year,
they're in the market for an edge.
I know they are, but I think they're in the market for a Bradley Chubb. I don't think they're in the market for a Garrett. They have a Garrett. I mean, he's not as good as Garrett, but they have one, and he's on the bench. Wouldn't you want to pair? If you're going to trade for Garrett, wouldn't you want to team him up with Nick and Fred Warner? They have neither of those two guys.
Detroit has the second most cap space.
Detroit could be interesting. Although, man, they're signing guys left and right.
You put them on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson?
Oh, gosh, that'd be nasty. That'd be nasty.
But Green Bay?
Green Bay, no.
Green Bay doesn't have the assets.
Yeah, they just traded for Micah, so they're not doing it.
Yeah, they sent him to Dallas. But Kansas City? Nah, AFC. Like, I don't believe that they would trade him in there.
Yeah, and the 49ers did just get Keon White. That's right.
They got him from Buffalo?
No, Patriots.
Patriots, okay. But the Rams. Rams got cap space.
Rams would be scary, too, because they got Verse, and he's on a rookie contract for another couple of years. So
they got that Fisk guy in there, too, on a rookie.
Yeah, Braden Fisk. Yeah, they got some good players over there with the Rams. I like the Rams, man. I think the Rams are a really good team. I think we got the Rams at the right time. I mean, that's why I said what I said earlier about this game is bigger just because it's not a September game. You're week 10. Your teams are more established at this point. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's that many. If the Eagles are honestly giving 3, which sounds to me like, I understand it's Myles Garrett, but does anybody really think Howie Roseman, of all people, is going to send 3 1s?
To me, it makes more sense with 2 1s and a player.
I'll do this. I'll do 2
because
1s.
You know why? Well, you know why?
2 1s and Nolan Smith. Sign me up. Sign me up
for a hurt player. No way.
I need a guy. 2 1s and Jalix.
Listen, maybe that I would say, and plus he's showing.
I'd rather keep Jalix if you're Philly, but I get it.
Remember, if you're trading in season, you want a player back. If you trade out of season, then it's when you do your picks, and it's all about drafting.
Well, if you're the Browns, you don't really want a player back.
I don't think so. Like, what would be the reasoning of bringing AJ in when you don't have anybody to throw him the ball? Unless you're going to start Shador.
Look at Rob. He called me a stunad. I respect the Italian slang there. Are you a stunad? Rob, how do you know they offered 3 first-rounders for Parsons, dickhead? Oh, you what, a fucking fairy fly into your room at night and tell you that? Rob?
Stunad. I respect
How the
it.
fuck do you know? This guy, they offered 3 for Micah. No, they didn't, dickhead. The report was 2, and they were willing to match the 47 and throw in an extra mid-round pick. Nowhere was it reported or talked about that the Eagles were willing to give 3 ones. Stunad.
Stunad.
No, it hasn't. He's saying it's being reported. Go look, fucking dick. Find me the link.
You hear that, Gabagool?
Zander Krause on social media.
Hey, you hear that, Gabagool? How do you know?
You call me a fucking Stunad. If you're going to call me a Stunad, be right. Oh, Rob 5657. The fuck?
All right, let's get to these supers, man. By the way, go over the ones that I fucked up too, will you?
You were fine. I got to be honest. I understand you're not the best, reader in the world, but some of these dudes are writing in tongues today, man. I didn't know what the fuck. Here's Philly Eagle. Do you think AJ would rather stay here or have 120 targets in Cleveland from Lil Man Gabriel? That's a hilarious nickname. Gabriel stinks. They should play Shador.
I think he'd like the 120 targets.
You think he would, even from that shithead quarterback?
When a city like Cleveland would love him.
That dude's a stiff.
He is. That's what makes it even more sense to move Myles Garrett. You got stiffs playing quarterback, bro. I mean, fuck, you're going nowhere. You're just going.
I got to rip L-Rob one more time. Is that even how you spell Stunad? It's not. It's S-T-U, right?
Stunad.
Yeah, S-T-U-N-A-D. You're a fucking Stunad, you fucking Stunad. Are you kidding me? Spell it right.
He spelled Stunad like he's from Iowa.
Yeah, exactly. Like a classic American. Big Fish says, nobody wants A.J. Brown gone, but for Myles Garrett, bye, A.J. I understand that one, Big Fish. Here's Big Fish again. Only way Howie gives up 3 ones is if he's trading AJ for a 1 and some change. Ooh.
Bro, there's AJ Brown in a trade for Myles Garrett makes sense. AJ Brown in a trade for Trey Hendrickson doesn't.
Yeah, look at this. Bobo says Tanner, 2 firsts, a third for Garrett and Sanders.
Tanner.
Oh, no.
Fucking Tanner. Tanner McKee, man. You mean Jalen Hurts?
Fuck off. What you talking about? Here's Stephen Mosteller. Will the Eagles' late draft positions make them a less attractive option than a team like the Cowboys?
That's why it's 3 ones, because it is down there. Offering up 2 ones offering 2 ones at 6. That makes sense. Offering 3
one more variable, though. Most teams, now if you're the Browns, maybe this is different, but most teams don't want that many picks in the top 10 because you're not going to be able to pay everybody once their contracts come, and also there are much more expensive contracts from the jump.
But you parlay them up to move up in the draft.
Right.
Take the 30.
But also there's value to having the Browns picks are going to suck. So they're going to be in the top 5 or top 10 with those picks. And then if you have the Eagles picks, you're in the 20s or hopefully in the 30s. I don't know.
I got to tell you something about Howie here. I've never seen a guy utilize 5, 6, and 7s as a general manager better than Howie Roseman of any general manager I have ever seen. I've never seen a guy take those 5, 6, and 7s and turn them into assets and turn them into players that end up playing for you. I mean, those are usually throwaway picks to some GMs.
That's Howie vision, baby.
He does a great job.
What's up, Deem? Big Sills and Z, what are you all willing to give up? I think 3 ones is my threshold. I mean, that already seems ridiculous to me, but for a player like that, I mean, that's what it's going to cost, I would imagine. Here's Khaled. The Garrett deal just makes too much sense for both teams. Yeah. I think that's fan thinking. I mean,
But it does.
It does make sense, but it just feels so far-fetched.
As we're going through these super chats, before we get Howard Balzer up, I want him to be prepped for this, that the comments being made out there, and Mary Jo Cabot, and he knows who she is. I believe she's a Hall of Fame voter, if I'm not mistaken. She may not be.
She's plugged in. She's plugged in.
She is.
There's no doubt about it.
The conversation out there is 3 ones potentially from the Eagles for Myles Garrett.
I feel like Howard's either going to say yeah, or he's going to say you guys are a bunch of idiots.
But here, let's
Howie
put
Roseman getting rid of 3 first-round picks.
If you're the Browns, though, you get
Howie.
7 first-round picks in the next 3 years.
Yeah, I hear you.
You have no quarterback, and you get that money off the books.
Kimberly says, Big Z, are we talking about a 5-year Super Bowl window? That's long. 5-year windows in the NFL, you're looking at 2 to 3 and retool.
3 years is an eternity.
Yeah, 3 years. Now they could elongate it by smart moves, but right now 3. Big fish, little boat. Or we tell AJ to STFU, cry in the corner, you sign the contract. Well, that could be it could be what they do. Fellas, if that trade was possible, why would they take the Eagles' offer? If the best player in the NFL is available, there would be plenty of suitors.
Because it's the Browns and it's Jimmy Haslam. He's one of the worst owners in pro football.
Well, I don't think you're going to have many GMs that are willing to give 3-1s. The only reason the Eagles might be willing to give 3-1s is because your roster is built. Most other teams, even some of the teams who are the best, look at the Buffalo Bills. You think they're giving up 3-1s? Dude, they need those ones. They can't just sign a great edge rusher and be good.
But that's not a great roster, the Bills.
That's my point. The Eagles are one team that's roster is so good. They can
surrender the 3-1s.
They might look at the ones and say, I'll get rid of them.
Yeah.
Last one. Tanner and AJ, that's not going to get the job done. All right. That's not going to get the job
Philly
done.
500 just
put Philly 500. It's hard to believe this could be true. Do the trade, Brown. You trade maybe Nolan Smith. If you can recoup the pick trading AJ in the offseason, you have to. Dak is crapping himself. Well done yesterday. You demolished Stills and Mark Holmes yesterday.
He's stupid.
We haven't seen a performance like that Philly since the Super Bowl back in February. That type of belt to ass. Always Sunny says, y'all would give up 3 firsts and the ability to sign Jalen Carter. Why do you think
that would not affect that? That would not affect that. You do exactly what they did to Devontae. You pick up the 5th-year option, and then you prorate it out like they did with Devontae's contract. Devontae's not getting on that $25 million contract for another 2 years.
Dude, also, we were thinking $25 million for Nolan Smith. If they trade for Myles Garrett, they're not paying Nolan Smith.
No, they're not paying Nolan Smith.
No.
Nolan Smith, who? By the way, so we got Brian Baldinger at 5:15 too.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear what a guy who is complete. I love the fact we get Hall of Fame guys on here. Okay, we had Ray Didinger yesterday. Now we're going to get
brother, good stuff, man.
our friend Howard,
you and Howard and you and Baldy.
All right, brother. I will see you tomorrow and Birds 365.
Thank you, brother.